After those 5 days, they forced me to learn how the system is working. But in the meanwhile, they're building new things. Actually, they didn't want to learn anything, and that's irony that I'm saying. They wanted to die, but in any second of all of those years, they collect anything of me, any situation, any reaction of me, and they cut informations. They have people from for all over the society and cycles, and they want to have proofs. I mean, they making a setup, but they present to the people what they want to give. For example, uh, I am in a place. In this place, people before all also starting threatening me with words, criminals, language, and methods, millions of times all over the years. So I'm going inside in a place. In that place, always waiting people from them, mix people, manipulate people, everyone. They starting taking data of how I'm gonna react. The biggest structure is to prove and destroy my reputation and who I am, and say to the people that this man is not good, and a lot of things that they are lying. So the communication from them to me is secret, as I told before, visual and sound. But those language is connecting with horrible things to my life, attempts to murder me, tortures, setups of houses, food, essen, walking like a dog, be a dog in society, everything. So they take in the elements and they present to other people in society, look, this man what is doing, how he's acting and everything. It's complicated. Always they want faces be covered. I need many days to describe to people in courts and criminology how deep is this and how dangerous is it, and how big damage they did to my life. After the big attempts, the big tortures and attempts to kill me with this kind of system, they started doing this. I changed the place that I was sleeping. For a few days I was sleeping with my family because I want to measure the situation and see reactions. I take informations, how they change people, how they transform people to animals, how they change souls, behaviors, everything. I'm the first one in this life that I know better, my family, and people that was always close with me, a good family. How is possible in a few days those people change in a direction that no one can imagine? No one. Only me, evidence and elements. So I changed again my place. I didn't want to go again to my basement. I mean to was a simple room because I was in terror, afraid, no secure doors, nothing. But I didn't had any other option for many other things that is not possible to describe now here. I went there, and first day when I went, it was noon. About it was noon. First thing that I did when I went in my house, I went to a big box that I have my work equipment, cameras, rails, uh, things like that. Before the downstairs, a black Peugeot uh, 307, new model, uh, man with black hairs, 1 meter 70, strong body, wearing black clothes, uh, driving fast outside of my house. He parked outside of my house. He went out of the car. He came in my direction. It was the first time that I saw him. He opened the back door, as I described before. He closed fast and he left. It was a message that if you're gonna go to your place, we're gonna finish you. I didn't stop. I went to my room. First thing that I did, I take a look of my place. I was living from since I was out there for more than 19 days, because over there was a grave for me. So when I went in there, I take a look in my place, but I feel that they're gonna hit me again. It was something like an instinct or something, also with the appearance of this monkey scamp, this killer. I opened the box. In the same time that I took my camera in my hand, the satellite killers opened the system. In a second, they hit me, but I left outside and I locked the door. It was the same attempt, same threat, but the force was bigger, because it depends on how many seconds they want to illuminate the victim. It's a feeling of different pressure. I went outside of the house. I make a thought that I said to myself, you must stay in there. There is no place for you to live. Even in your friends, families, your place nowhere in this kind of system. And for one more time, I make a promise: if I'm gonna live, I'm gonna destroy all of them as they destroyed my life and other people. Next day, I'm sorry, same day, I went to sleep in my room. Was not possible. The criminals had made map all over the place. The same in the room that I was, the house that I was before. All the house was in the trap. Early in the night, criminal skulls, also 4x4 cars, all mafia, criminals from Balkans, everyone. In a few days, they made a huge nest. Early in the night, I think was 9, 10 o'clock p.m. cars starting moving outside of the street. It was the same message that we starting hitting you. Because of the system, the first moments you feel an amazing feeling of your body is burning. You feel a heat inside of you, but is because of X-rays. Body starting shaking, losing senses. It's not possible to walk, to eat, nothing. When they start torturing me, and that day I want to have something cold in my body. So I drop away towels and clothes for the bed. I don't know the word. And I was sleep in the floor because I wanted to feel something cold. I wanted to feel my normal temperature. And always I was looking in this kind of tortures have something to disturb myself in this situation and be alive. I mean, doing things that gonna keep me alive and not in this situation because it's not possible to go anywhere. Any corner in the room, anywhere is a map of criminals and this kind of killing machine and satellite system. I was sleeping on the floor for one more time, ready to die, but the system was not stopping. All night, more than for 6 hours, uh, they didn't stop. Early in the morning, about 6 o'clock, maybe later, I found some time to rest until the morning. Those situations never stop for many months, years, also all over the Europe in places that I went, Cyprus, and other places. There is big parenthesis how they making setups and how they change the structure of the environment and places. Early in the morning, about I think 9 o'clock, I wake up, I was ready to fall down, and I went I was wearing, I took my best clothes, a suit, and I went to my work. I make a promise in the road that if I'm gonna die in my work, in my place, and near to myself, and as an honest person. I forget something of the obvious video. When I went to the emergency room, they put me a butterfly for the blood. It was the first time that someone is putting something like this in my body. The normal way is to take the usual way blood, take the examination, make a sticker of something that this small hole must close, and then you take the results. But in there, after the young woman that I saw with the sign in his pants that was writing dance, I didn't give any attention of this, but was complicated because of this day. They start inform me with clothes, with t-shirts, with special stamps, with handbags, with everything of what they gonna do every day. Keep calm, white red criminals, stay away. Uh, you're gonna suffer, you're gonna dance. We give you one bottle of water, no food today, and all of this involving thousands of people. By giving them money, playing the game, and most of them, I think, they don't knew it what they're doing, as they're doing the same thing now. They involving people doing things, but those people, most of them, they don't know how they involving in my life. Others, they know because I see irony, smile, pleasure, hate in their views. Behavior that has to do with history of this kind of destroying my life and many things. In the emergency room, when after seconds, I was insist because I was dying. It was very in the hospital was a lot of people. Day was busy, but I realized that this kind of structure also has to do with the mafia and the structure. I mean, always they want be in very big stress with people, with situations and everything. They want to collect information. That's the biggest deal of them. As I make statements before in video, laundering money, destroying mental health and everything. As they continue now, they don't stop, but they by days less because authorities are now have attention of this. I'm explaining situation and many things. And why I'm doing this now here, video and everything. I'm doing this because first of all it's my right. Second, from first days of the situation, I realized that manipulate everything: newspapers, media, emails, everything, people. Another thing is that people must learn the truth. Even if I'm going now in trials against them, you're gonna learn the truth after many years. And also is another reason. Some of you must understand that those are threats for everyone, not only for me, for our future, for our evolution, for everything. It's a disease in society. You must help yourselves, me, your families, everyone. It's complicated to explain you now, but I think you understand. When they saw in the emergency room that I'm insist I need support, I explained to this doctor that was chief of the department there. I have those problem. I didn't say to him, they hit me with x-rays because I was hiding many things. And I wanted to see how they work and how they doing, what they doing. This man said, go immediately in X-ray room, take an actinography, take an X-ray, and let's check. I went. When I came outside of the room, a woman killer, pretend nurse, but is in the land, I mean in the criminals, killers, she came in the room. She not wearing any kind of clothes of doctors, any kind of name, nothing. Was age about 53, 56, thin, 1 meter 70, straight hairs, bronze plus brown, oval face, thin body, fast movements, long hairs, uh, uh, brown, Mediterranean face. She didn't speak. Uh, she took my arms, she took my left arm, and she was holding a big injection. Inside was a liquid that was like water. I took away my hand and I make a question, what is this? And she said, she was looking down and she said in very fast words, we must use this because it's easy to take blood. I was so tired, I was so exhausted that I didn't knew it, what they doing, and I was someone to trust. I was dying, but every day I was under amazing crimes, and no one was speaking, no authorities, nothing. It was a horrible situation because we're talking about a book of horrible crimes that a human being is under those kind of structure. And when they using this kind of force every day, you have a feeling that you are in a war, really. As I make a statement before, they took the story of my hero from my movie, and they press it to my life. I'm gonna explain later for my movie. So this woman lied to me. Milligram was more than 80, 100 ml. Inside was skiographic liquids, illegal, skiographica υγρά. Inside was also liquid that open the veins, extend the veins, and also inside was nanotechnology, electronic stuff that was so small, thin, less a dot of a pen, maybe half. What they did, they deliver through my blood this kind of dangerous stuff to my heart. This stuff is blocking to the main vein of the heart. It's taking power of the heartbeat about 1.5 volt that using heart for working, and this kind of stuff is stuck in the central artery, central vein of the heart. Also, they give me plasmatographic liquid, and other things that I realize later that has to do with hormones, has to do with muscle system, everything. It was a cocktail of criminals. This woman left fast from the room, and I didn't saw her again. In a few minutes, the X-ray from the laboratory of the hospital was ready. They called my name, and I went to take the X-ray. I know all of over years the most the simple things, but I think I know more about human health and body, and after that I learned also a lot. So I took the X-ray, I put it up in the light, and I saw that something is going wrong. I mean, it was a duplicate X-ray, fake. What I mean, they took an X-ray from another person of the baby, maybe me, and they took an X-ray of the bones in this position of another person, and they put it together. What I saw when I saw the X-ray in the light, I saw that uh, I don't know the word. Inside of our belly, we have this kind of system that has to do with the food, and then things that going outside of the body. So those things that we have in our belly was starting from here, was something like this. This is a start of that they gonna for any time that I'm gonna fight for my life, they gonna mock me and they gonna play with my life, they gonna joke me until the day that they gonna prove that I'm gonna die, or I'm not a logic person. It's another different kind of structure, what they do and what they do, what how they work and what they did and doing. I didn't said anything. I saw this man that is involving in this mafia, because they said to him, don't speak, take those money. I didn't saw money, to be honest, but they laundering money. I know that. I saw other persons. It's complicated. They work each other. It depends. Phone calls, everything. This man told me, you are okay, it's nothing, was laughing. For me, you are okay, nothing, pathology, anything, take the results and go, you are okay. I didn't said anything, I was suffering, and I went to my house. I remember in the road, criminals cars was following me, and day by day they built a structure, more and more of criminals traffic. I went to my house, I think I ate something and I fall down in my grave. My words here are limited of many hours, thousands of words and situation and events and facts for everything. Next days, another kind of mafia that has to do with food, water, and that illuminate men's and women's, I mean organs, avarice, ability to make sex people, children's families attack to my life. So what they did, when they saw that I'm strong, I mean I'm not dying, I'm clever, my intelligence is good, my instinct. When they saw that I'm looking left, right, I'm not give up. When they was ready for any informations that they collect of around my people, society, living, who I was before, everything, they make an evaluation that has to do with a strong man, has to do with that this man is not give up and he gonna destroy us, and it's not possible also to give him the opportunity to continue without our methods. More than 58 cycles until the day they attack to my life, and each one want different things. Next days they did this. They trap all the water in the house in pumps, in bathroom. In my country, we have some small shops, very small, that it's like kiosk in German, or very small uh, supermarket, but it's only for one person inside, two persons room. I mean, this kind of small, and it is all over the streets, or maybe other kind of shops like kiosk also more bigger. So what they did, uh, they starting inform me that I'm gonna be a dog, and what I mean. Next days, I'm starting meet in the streets, in the road, in my car, people that was carrying with a strap dogs, uh, hundreds of dogs every day. It was the first time of my life that I was starting to see something like this. Uh, Animals and dogs in street, also cats and other pets, is not the same like here in German, that we have different law. In Greece there is people that torture, killing dogs, they don't respect the life of animals. It's a situation that also I hope in the future people in society and government take more actions about those kind of people that they don't respect animals and dogs and everything. Dogs most of the times are suffering in the streets, in the highways. Also, it's another thing that when an animal like this is free, many times people lost lives with their cars, bicycles, motorbikes, everything, because those animals are free in the streets and is a danger for everyone. It's complicated. So day by day, they starting inform me that today you will be, if they appearing to me a dog, a brown dog, now today you are a slave of brown cycle. After a few hours, front of me was a black and white dog. Now you are a slave of white and black criminal cycles, slave. We're talking about the most of the cycles that appearing to me with dogs. Dogs, when appearing to me, had connections with other amazing situations that is not possible to explain you, but I'm gonna try to tell you now an example. When a brown dog with a man or a woman was in front of my eyes, was meaning today for what we're gonna do to you has to do with brown cycles. Brown cycles has to do with money. White green cycles has to do with medicine. White yellow the same. Red cycles has to do with criminals, the main structure. Blue the same. I was trying to find in this kind of situation where is the ordinary people, where is the people that I learned before. The simple communication and the way was not possible. They was also now manipulate everyone. In this kind of cycle that I am also until today, it's not possible, but day by day is better because there is a shield day by day for everyone now, not only for me. One another, the biggest criminal cycle is White 3 criminals group, and if you can see in my post, you can see a lot of horrible things they doing by protecting themselves with the god. They selling drugs, they killing people, they doing so horrible things, and they for protection they have signs from Orthodox and Christian society. It's amazing. It's complicated to explain you everything now. So day by day, They change the water all over the place that I was stopping. I mean, they knew already where I'm stopping for water, tobacco, cigarette, some, sorry, some maybe snacks, food from restaurants, everything. Until today, everything. They change the water to any place. And use your logic. We're talking about billions of criminals' business. If you change the water in 18, 14 places with new water, it costs nothing. It costs 150 euro, 80 euro in a big pallet, and I have proofs of many things. They change the water, they change some foods like yogurt, milk. They used a separate laboratory that they sealed new stuff. When someone is approaching in this place, supermarket, mini market, etc., they know from which place can I take water or not. Other people, they manipulate by criminals with movements, with messages telling me as a payment, as an award for because I'm alive for one more day. Today you can take one bottle of water or six bottle of waters or 4 bottle of waters by movements. And other people, they know in which water can they bought from the shelves or not. By manipulate everyone, they inform in a second what they can do or not. So what they did, they changed all the water. They starting playing with my life. They starting build a cage and give me the feeling that it's not possible anymore to live. And if I want to live for simple things like drinking water, food, I must fight every day for my life, and then they're gonna give me after 4 or 5 days a bottle of water, little food, and everything. It's not possible to explain you. Really, it's thousands of elements. First day, I took a water without any message of anyone, nothing. I just stopped. I took I think 1 bottle of water. I went house, I drink, and I was starting his amazing reactions. I mean, first thing that happened was an amazing burn in my stomach. It was something like you drink water with a lot of oxygen, a lot of CO2, but compatible with body. Those was the first measure. I mean, we give you something that has to do with your health. We're gonna measure what you're gonna do, and then you're gonna destroy you. Sometimes when a man or when a human being is eat something too much and he feel pressure in his stomach, he's asked something for like water with this kind of CO2 bubbles, water, mineral uh, to feel more comfortable because she's or she eat more. For me, without any food, they give me this kind of stuff in the water, informing me that next days we're gonna play with your life. You're gonna feel like you eat too much, but you're gonna don't have nothing to eat. Next days, the water was with dangerous substances there. Direct, they inform me that they're gonna destroy my ability to make children's families, organs, make sex, and many other horrible things. Those dangerous substances are working immediately, and you have a feeling that your organs are burning like someone is torture with fire. It's an amazing feeling. We're talking about 18 different tortures of the organs, 18 different dangerous substances, more than 49, 50 dangerous substances that they can destroy in a few days the whole body, everything. Next days, I was trying to find water. It was not possible to find water. I make a thought. Go to your parents and take a look from where they drinking water. What they did. In the ejection that they made me in emergency room, they made an reaction of the real water. What I mean, if someone was drinking from the water that I was drinking before, is okay. If I'm drink myself in the same water, I have huge problems. Also, those kind of animals and sick people, they played with my life. And they played with chemistry of my body and my life. Everything. It's a different cycle of criminals. I was starting drink for 4 days drink from my house from my family, the same water that they was drinking. They saw me every day drinking water and eating food. They didn't eat the same food from me. Day by day, I saw people changing. I mean, was upset, moving like manipulate. They didn't speaking. Was in silence. I was the same person. I was suffering, dying, but I was the same person. They knew it already that I had an amazing exist with my film. Thousands of people saw what I did, who I am before. And everything has to do with a new structure of criminals. I went to Thessaloniki International Film Festivals. My family goes together. We visit people. But also from there, I mean, criminals from there, they inform me that with laptops and networks and other real threats, we're gonna destroy your reputation, your career, and everything. I remember faces, I make statements. A woman in the cinema that I was alone. That woman, nothing has to do with the festival people. Was outside, but they has the license to be in there. Because when she looked me first time in there, I saw a hate in his face and starting typing in his laptop, and it was the first information of those people that will destroy you with electronics things. And of course, there is millions of people in those kind of lands, red criminals to group. So continue. I was trying to drink water. I wake up in the morning, I saw myself, I lost in the last 10 days more, 9, maybe 10 kilos, but I was eating. I saw my leather be green, and in the night goes purple. I saw my skin be like a desert. I saw my eyes be like a dead man. My family was starting laugh with me. My mother was using irony with me, and I saw faces and behavior that I saw before. I was dying and they was laughing and involving in this. I remember that I went to the bathroom and I put out my clothes. I saw a man that it's a man like, please believe me, like an Auschwitz man. I make a thought that nothing has to do different with those people or other people that suffer from this kind of criminals and Nazism and methods, and but for me it was worst because was crimes that I was new, and I was in a terror because every day I was trying to learn what is this power, what they doing, how I'm gonna learn the truth, how they use those methods, uh, who they are, why they did it, this and doing, and many other things. But when you're suffering, also today that I'm writing this video, I don't have nothing to eat, and there is more 28 days. Last 8 months I supplied that I didn't get food. It's complicated because they're moving hands everywhere, banks everywhere. But I have some good people that we respect each other, and I'm really thank you for what you're doing. Even if I know you or I don't know you, I speak for both. Now when I'm talking to this room, there is some people that they listen me all over the 10 years, 13 years. They listen always and they give me advice. Be cool, do this, the other. Everyone won't be important in my life because they living because of me, and I'm not living. I don't have nothing to live. For one more time, I took my clothes and I went to my work. My mother told me, was laughing, eat, man with bad fake, eat because you're gonna die, but was laughing. I look at her, I saw a face that I never saw before in this mother that she's born me in this earth with the same way with other women's, and I saw a person that was foreign to me, unknown. Also my father. They transform those people to animals, involving in those huge criminals crimes. When I saw that face, when I saw those people transforming to animals, my people, I realized that those people, they're using so many different methods, they're using so big force that in this moment, in that moment, was not possible to ask for help to anyone. It was not only my people, it was the elements from society, manipulation of society, authorities, hospitals, people, everyone, people that they didn't participate in this, they stayed away of my life. And they have my respect, they have my sincerely regards and a thankful message because they didn't participate. Other people before of those situations helped me many things, like make my movie, but it's not possible to describe you now. And thank you so much until the end of my life that you didn't participate in this. You didn't took money. You didn't played with my life. And thank you for stay outside of this. And I'm gonna give my best in the future also for you and your families. That day that I was like a dead man and I saw my parents, I said to myself, Manoli, you are alone. You're gonna die. Keep doing what you do and do your best. Stay in the life, find a way and start speaking. But when I go start speaking, they promise me that they're gonna destroy me more soon in many ways, different ways. Those days was not possible to find water or food. I mean, in a few days, in my parents' place, in my parents' food, they inform me every day that today they show me knives by holding a knife like this way. Knife was first day brown, then black, then red, then gray, then white. But they informing me by hitting many times the knife. That is meaning they didn't speak to me because they didn't want criminals have elements of family what they doing. What was the result of those informations of doing noise with knife and spoons and in combination with food was that different cycles gonna today we destroyed you with dangerous substances, with food and water by colors of cycles. The main structure was to lost my ability to make sex, babies, children's, The other structure was to destroy my hormones, destroy my belly, my veins, uh, and many other horrible things that is not possible now to describe you. A logic person as I am, and I was, and always I will be, I did a thought, first I must find food. In the situation that I was, I lost between 4 weeks, I think, maybe 5 weeks. I lost more than 19 kilos. I was about 89, 90, 100 kilos. I lost it fast because they burn my body every day. Suffering was not possible to my health was not possible because also for x-rays to keep the food. When you are in this kind of situations, you need more and more food. You need special food to recover. I mean, special kind of vitamins, proteins, everything, because it's like to have cancer. I every day, all those years, I didn't stop. I was always outside, streets, people. When I was tired as a human being and normal being, I was in a place to rest. Or, but for more than 10 years, I don't have place. They have a structure, always to be under threats, situations, stress. They're building an amazing setup around the houses. It's complicated. Everything are in, some of those situations are in Greek charges, and now here I was starting changing restaurants. Uh, my name in a few days in a city, and we're talking about 100,000, maybe now 100,000, 80,000 people, 180,000 people. I was in 90%, they knew it who I was, but not from my film. A few of them. Others, they recognize me that someone is dying. Others recognize me that someone is fighting a system that already exists. Others, they participate. It's another kind of structure and parenthesis. I'm starting change restaurants for some fast food or other kind. First thought that I made it is I lost family. Was not possible. I make a fast calculation that is not possible to recover of this. I mean, one as a human being has a good connections with people close to you, families, and you see also other horrible things that is not possible to describe you here. You must take a decision. You must live. You must stay alive. And you must stay away of each one that involving this kind of criminals structure and stay alive. They know those animals that but separate family, friends, work, society. They want that they block you from any ability to be alive. as many other people have in their lives. Pleasure, free choice, freedom, everything. They block everything. I make an evaluation and a calculation of me in more than those years, and we're talking for the 2012 and 2013, for those situations that they start. Most of them now here, they didn't stop, and today it's 2020. I make an evaluation who I am, what I did, where is my friends, how many people they know me, if I'm honest, fast, and also I keep this hope because I was a good person, and in this kind of way I needed to stay always in this position, because it's natural. When you are criminal, of course you have rights, but it's complicated. And I'm not. For all those years, I give also amazing fights to stay as a good person because of those kind of crimes and other setups of criminals. They're using people of different things that I must prove every day since last 10 years, and I'm tired for everything. I was starting go to restaurants. In restaurants, in the first days out there was some people with good clothes and looking like ordinary people with ordinary jobs, and was cars from Focus cars and Fiesta. Fiesta cars has to do with a big mafia of satellite. It's a big parenthesis, hundreds of elements, situations, and crimes. Most of them they driving those kind of cars. Focus cars has to do also with this company. I'm not against of this company. No, I drive before cars. Those I have friends with those cars. Nothing. But the structure of what they have to do with a mafia that is driving this kind of cars. Every day, in any restaurant, in any kiosk, in any supermarket, there was a car of them. Hundreds of cars. Focus is meaning give attention what we doing and what we gonna do and what we gonna happen to you now. In restaurants, when I went, for example, to a place that I knew before, day by day the environment was changing. People was changing. First day was everything normal. Next day was starting doing some movements like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Any movement of this is the secret language of criminals, visual or sound. Any movement has connection with direct threats and destroy of the body and dangerous substances. First day was I was in a square. They give me, I order my food. Always I was paid for my food. I was an ordinary person, professional, kind, everything. A normal person. Day by day they starting informing with messages that today we hit your neck. Tomorrow we're gonna hit your arm. After tomorrow we're gonna hit your breast. After tomorrow your head. In a few days 50% of cafeteria, restaurants, small markets, supermarkets, everyone was in the game in this horrible disaster. Some of them, they have the ability to deliver sealed products and dangerous substances to inside the market without the knowledge of people that they work there. Other, they have the ability to inform people that participate in this direct what they're doing. Other, they blackmailing. Other, they're doing that secret. But those people that first days with cars, focus cars, they knew it and knew exactly what they're doing. If someone tell you, do this one time, you make a thought, what I'm doing this or not. I mean, yes, we can do it, but if someone told you to do this 100 times per month, you're gonna make a question, why I must doing this to this human being? What is this? What I'm doing? So use your logic and imagination to think about for how many different structures of situations we're talking about. Day by day, they starting destroying my body. Together was big threats of stress. Ambulance was all over the city. Big cars of firefighters also. All the city in the land. Police cars, people, city. I was walking in the road and I remember in a very popular road in my city, was not Christmas, was not special offers for prices, nothing. It was an ordinary night. I remember many times thousands of people moving in the opposite direction through me, to me, and I was alone in my direction. Imagine this. 1,000, 1,800, 3,000, 4,000 people moving in your direction, and you're walking in different direction of them. I mean, in this way. First time, you're thinking that this is maybe happened. But if this happened every day, it's not normal. And that's the light, that is the low level of the situation. was a message of mafia that we manipulate everyone, and this is a message that you're gonna stay alone in the streets, dying like a dog because you don't doing what you say to you. And I make a thought, you're going to die. Fucking shits. You give me nothing. I did nothing wrong. You took my movie as a point because my movie is a profit movie. I mean, I did my movie without make any research of my script or go to underworld to see how they work. Just was a reaction of what is happening to my country and how is people is suffering. I wrote in 10 days, maybe less, the script, and I make the movie. But this movie is profit movie. I mean, inside describe things that criminals using to illuminate killing people. Before I make the connections of the elements, I didn't knew it why they attack so much to my life and the movie. After that, and after 4 or 5 years, I make the connections. I took the elements, the attempts to murder me, situations, dangerous substances, cycles, 3 group, 2 group, red group, everyone, and I start to make connections with the movie, why they did this. I didn't knew it before, and my intention was not to attack to underworld. How? With a suitcase, as a new filmmaker, as a photographer years before, without money. But after I saw that they destroying my life and illuminate me, I make a promise to found my right, stay alive, and understand what is this situation. I collect elements and everything. Those days they took me more serious. What I mean, they made an evaluation again. They meet each other in different places and they make a decision. This man is not dying. They have, he has connections. He's moving. He's not losing strength. He's strong, fast, clever. He gonna fuck us. In a few days, in a few months, but I think less than 1 month, they made the evaluation. The evaluation was to build a force of different criminal cycles. They saw that I didn't stop, send my film all over the world, and this had other kind of reactions. Those first days, different groups was working in different criminals, mafia and cycles in the town. There are many stupids of them. Those days they didn't have money, and they found a chance to participate each other. When those big bosses and mafia is in the town, they want fast make new bases, new data, new people. They collect people also from all over the places. I mean, courts, trials. They using fishing hooks. They take informations everywhere, every day. And even if it is innocent, it's a good person, but unfortunately is in a mess, they're gonna force him or her to involve in this kind of criminal cycles. It's not possible to go away. It's complicated to explain you this kind also of parenthesis. One team of them has to do with the diagram of a soul of a human being, the feelings, the ordinary things, and what a person is need to feel alive, free. That's family, friends, sex, food, water, simple things. This kind of criminals until today has to do with those rights, those things, beautiful things that they're taking me every day from my life. What they did first days, they manipulate some people to approach me, pretended that they are friends. But some of them knew it, what they did, and some of those not. People started react with me as an organism, as something that's alive. I mean, we pretend that you are our friends and we won't be with you. Some of them, they are until today friends. They starting building the structure. I mean, collect informations, data, mobile phones, connections, who I'm a visit, what I want, where I'm gonna ask help, everything. Then they starting offer money, jobs, promise to people, do this, and later we're gonna do this for you. We're gonna help you build a company. We're gonna help you with have success with people in your work, restaurant. They moving people where they want, everywhere. They can make an amazing laundering game, not only with money, but the result is money, is offer. When someone is involving in this game against my life, there is hundreds of elements and proofs. Those days they started torturing me with the thing that they put in my heart. And what is this? This is a stuff that is working with 1.5 volt with heartbeat voltage. They starting using a remote with a secret protocol that when this stuff is activating, it's blocking the ordinary cycle of movement of the heart. I mean this one. If the heart is doing this, blood is coming. If doing this, blood is coming out. By using this kind of nanotechnology stuff, they can block the movement of my heart. That was a new torture and was new attempt to murder me with close my central vein of my heart and block my breath. When the heart has malfunctions like this, the first feeling that I had is that it's not possible to breathe. It's like heartbeat is working in opposite direction. They block the vein of my heart. In any kind of plasmatograph, I mean heartbeat test that I did, it's not possible people to find this kind of malfunction, because when I'm doing the test, always those criminals has the protocols and the transmission closed. What they did day by day, by doing this to my heart, they starting make connections of situations outside of my body. And what I mean, before a few minutes or before 1 hour, when something gonna happen to me by criminals, I mean threat of beating, threat of stress, appearance of police, informing me in any place that I was, also until today. But now they cannot do this with the police, because those people, they know who I am and what I did until today, what I offered, how I respect people, also them, and what I want to do. So in Greece, before a few minutes or maybe 1 hour, they starting using this stuff in my heart. Is a feeling that losing breath. If continue press these protocols and transmission with this kind of nanotechnology, in a few seconds you dying. Heartbeat is stopping in a second. So they connect setups, structure, society, people, threats against my life, by informing me with this kind of torture that next minutes, next hour, you're gonna happen this. We're gonna do this to you. My words here are limited of thousands of words and situations. Next days, they starting drinking me with alcohol and water. I mean, uh, I'm not drinking too much alcohol. I just enjoy my life, one drink, maybe more, with friends in ordinary life. When I was trying to be and participate in ordinary way with friends, theaters, some bars, cafeteria, and order a drink or something, they use people in the crimes. And when I was order my beer or my drink, they put inside dust, white dust, that is not changing the taste. It's the same. But when I was going to my house or also with water from social pumps, uh, they trap the house with some robot system. They know when I'm drinking water, and they open the pump. The pump is giving uh, those dangerous substances to the line. I mean the water line in the house, and then you're drinking. When other persons are drinking, the system and the pump by electric and remote control is closing by them. So first days I was starting to have the feeling that I'm losing fast my senses. I wake up with a smell in my nose like it's ether, like it is the thing that they use in surgeries to sleep people. Was the same feeling, and for a few moments in the morning I had the feeling that I'm not remember. It is something like you open your eyes and you don't remember what is happened. I mean, you're losing for a few hours your intelligence, your ability to remember, synthesis in Greek language. What I did, but this they did also before in another house that I was year before. They open the mouth and they have a special tool that deliver inside of this area in the chest, and nanotechnology stuff that when they use this, the torture is you have instantly amazing pain and feeling of your organs in this area is burning. They close this torture only when if you're gonna go to drink water. I found this solution one day was when I was suffering so many days of these tortures. They open and close this system and tortures, and accidentally I went one day and my cousin and I drink cold water. Then the system is stopped. I make a thought, maybe the water is blocking uh, the voltage or the protocol transmission with criminals, or uh, they close the system, and finally are both. has to do with the water, has to do with my film, has to do with everything. Day by day they didn't stop. X-rays, those tortures, society threats, and many things. Day by day they starting learning me what's the system of colors and criminal cycle of colors. What kind of part of my body they gonna hit. They started moving some small trucks. Those trucks, I remember one of those was red and blue. And in the floor, in the roof of the cabin of the driver was two big eyes, like a sticker. This truck is about 2.8 thousand kilos, middle weight trucks. Maybe less, maybe more. When that car was appearing in my presence in streets with my car, other cars, in walk, this car and more than 100 different cars that participate in this situation, they inform me every day that today we're gonna hit you in the head, tomorrow in your chest, tomorrow in your leg, tomorrow in your hormones, organs, tomorrow under your hands, your eyes, your mouth, everything. My body, each part of my body is sold out to criminals. Each part of my body was suffering, and sometimes today is suffering because of this kind of criminals, business, threats, and many other things, horrible things. I have statements, I remember faces from mafia, also from people that has to do with scams, has to do with people that destroying football, athletics, I mean fanatic people that they took a part of my life and they handling this kind of horrible tortures and situations. I have statements, proof that involving two criminals, red group, white three criminals group, and many other scams and animals. I make a statement here, 99% of what I make statements in my social media are true. I'm gonna use it later as a proof, and I'm not gonna delete any word and any statement of what I did. I wrote, I said, and I'm said now, because everything are true. I'm doing this because I know, and they know, good people I mean, that this force is big, and I'm not the only one, but I'm alive, and I need to save my life and continue. We're talking about thousands of days. We're talking about more than 13 years. We're talking about of level that start from zero and now is in higher peak. We're talking about situations that they doing again and again. 10 attempts to murder me in Greece, 2 here in Germany. Assassins in hotels that they work with contract and follow the victim. They follow me in Cyprus, England, Peloponnese, Portugal, I don't have something bad with hotel people, and most of you know that I have friends all over the world. Nothing has to do with you, has to do with mafia, that they use people to any place, any town, everywhere. It was not possible to stay in a life. Today, I have many threats and many problems, and I have the same situations under this kind of structure. This video is more than 1 hour 35 minutes, and I need to stop because I need to speak to real people. I mean, not in electronics. I need to speak to courts. I need to speak statements soon. It's not possible to live anymore. I know I'm always in the same place. I need direct things good to my life and not threats. When I'm talking, you need this. You are crazy. We're gonna call an ambulance. We're gonna do this other. Stay away of my life. Because people, they know already who I am and what I did. It's not only the murders. No one in the world can succeed of this. No one can stay in a life in logic, but they did a huge damage in my life. They burned my body. I know one day I'm gonna die of cancer. There's no way the body of hundreds of days to expose out those energy. This energy is collecting to the bones, to the blood, to cells, everywhere. And other horrible things. They destroyed my bones. 3 criminals group. But they didn't succeed in my head, my logic. I'm better than ever. But they destroyed 99% of my life. For anyone that you listen this, those words are truth. It's not possible to believe in a future and listen how many horrible things they did and doing to my life, involving everyone without any fear, nothing, respect, life, evolution, no one, nothing. They just destroying humans in a second, and if someone is stay alive, they destroying work, everything. I'm gonna continue soon, and if someone helping me, it's not help only me. You help your families and evolution of life. But most of a percent of this kind of evolution has to do because this kind of animals, they want to develop, not because they care about life, but they care because they are sick. Real, they are animals, and also is a cycle of billions of dollars, euro, and any other of money around the world. It's a worst criminals machine. It's a war machine that is secret, and no one succeed until today give knowledge of what is exist out there and what they doing. Thank you. I'm gonna continue soon.